You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
Jared, now that you've had 48 hours to kind of take it in, just what are your thoughts on that last game specifically, but then, just the step your team made this season?
Yeah, I think it's still just an empty feeling. I think with the group we had and the feeling we had in the room that we wanted a lot more than we went through. So obviously, still to this day, it's pretty disappointing. Obviously, you have games on TV yesterday that you see and you feel like you should be playing. So yeah, it's a hard one to swallow for sure.
Jared, is the hardest part that, a bunch of guys said, like, your best is good enough as far as against Colorado, as good as they are. Like, is that what the frustration comes from? Is like you feel like if you guys maybe had played better, you guys had a chance against those guys? Yeah,
I think obviously they're a very good hockey team over there, and give them credit. They kept coming, and it was a tough series, but for ourselves, we were in control of the game, and we just didn't get it done to bring it back here for Game 6. And like I said, it's just an empty feeling. Obviously, you go through the first round against Dallas, and you have that high of getting through them. Obviously, they're a very good team as well, and it was a tough series. And then you go into Colorado, and you know what you're up against through playing them through the regular season, and obviously the regular season that they had. And there's times throughout the series that we're feeling good about ourselves. So obviously you have that game 3 that I thought we played very well, and the spurts of it as well. But like I said, we just didn't get it done.
You mentioned getting through Dallas. I mean, the last few years we've been here talking about not being able to get out of the first round. In some ways, does it make it harder that you made that step and weren't able to keep it going, or is it similar feeling, I guess?
I think that's more you guys talking about it than us, but the end goal is always the same. We're disappointed whether it's the first round, second round. There's not a moral victory. We want to be at the end and winning a championship. So I think that's more for you guys, something to write about than what we're thinking about in the dressing room.
Jared, did you finish the season healthy, and just what was that like this season, playing as much as you did?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Everyone has bumps and bruises and stuff like that, but yeah, it was a long year with the Olympics and everything like that. And obviously, the condensed schedule, and it was a bit different than normal. But it was, yeah, I think with a lot of the games coming through, and then obviously the last little bit heading into playoffs and stuff like that, it was a grueling schedule, I think, for everyone. But it was, like I said, it felt like a long one, but at the same time, it went quick.
You mentioned expectations in the room are obviously higher in winning a championship and going that far. Like, how close do you think you guys are with your group that you guys have of getting there?
Yeah, I think we're very close. I think you can see the development of a lot of guys that have come through. You get the young guys coming through and how big of a role they play, and just how much they mean to our team. From obviously the additions we brought at the trade deadline and Quinn earlier in the year. I think we're right there, but obviously not there yet if you're not the last one standing. So that's still the end goal for us.
How much did Quinn change the dynamic of this team, or the expectations of this team, of kind of what he is as a player and everything like that?
Yeah, he's obviously a special player. Like I've said before, I think playing against him, you obviously have the respect for him being an opponent, but when you see what he does night in and night out, it's pretty special to see the way he can change the game and just the entire dynamic of your team, whether it's the offensive side or just the control of the puck that he possesses, just to have it in our possession for whether it's the offensive zone or just coming through neutral zones or breakouts like that. And there's a reason why he's such a special player. And he just, like I said, he just changed, I think, the dynamic of the team coming from the back end, and just obviously him and Fabes working together. They're such a great combo with the way they think the game, their hockey IQ, but the way they skate and feed off each other, and whether it's defending or just the offensive side of it, they're always a threat while they're out there.
What was your impression of Hunt playing with him? Like, it feels like he's a guy that's kind of established himself now as an NHL player, and what he can maybe be part of you guys group going forward?
Yeah, Huntsy's awesome. I give him a ton of credit. Obviously, it's not easy when you're not in the lineup every single night, and he never complained once, and he was always out there working. But I think you can see with the way he skates and the way he thinks the game that he's a great player. I think it's his birthday today, so he's 24 maybe now. So a lot of upside obviously with him, but he's just very, very calm back there. He's just plays his game, never gets rattled, but he's such a great skater and just thinks the game very well.
Jared, Halloween was a long time ago, and a lot's happened since then. But when you look back on this season, how much will you think about that meeting you had and just the way the team responded, I guess, from that point on?
I think maybe the meeting happened, but I think just as a group we just pulled together. I think we all knew we weren't happy with the way it had started, and with the expectations that we had in the room, that we just sort of talked it out and went from there. And it feels like forever ago that happened in the start of the season, but I think just as a group with our expectations, we knew we had better, and we didn't want to get too far behind the 8 ball.
Jared, have you? I know that sometimes when a game ends, you never want to replay it again. But have you or teammates looked at those last 5 minutes again to see, the mistakes made? I mean, it just seemed like a lot of veterans were making detailed mistakes that obviously cost you the season.
Yeah, I think. Well, obviously we didn't get done. Like I mentioned earlier, you get in that position where you're up by 2, and we got to find a way to get it done. And whether it's them putting on a push for the last couple periods to try and tie it up, we have to find a way to, whether it's blocking a shot or getting a puck out at those times, just to get to that next level and give ourselves a chance to get back here. So, like I said, it's a very empty feeling the last couple of days, and it's not what we were looking for. We were hoping to be back here playing a big game here tonight.
Have you thought about your future? You have 1 year left on your contract. Would you like to try to figure out a way to maybe at least get some term added to your contract?
I haven't even thought about it at all. Obviously, you go through the year and you just we're focused on the end goal. So I have one year left in the contract, and just right now focused on going through the summer training again and coming back. But that hasn't even crossed my mind.
Boldy mentioned teams have to learn how to lose before they can win and get that next level. Like, what is your overall takeaway? What you guys learned from this step, as you guys know, you guys feel like you can get to the next one?
Yeah, I think obviously you just see how hard it is, but I think you go through it, and like I said, you play a great series against Dallas at the start, and obviously we come up against another great team in Colorado, and you just see how hard it is and the little things that you need to do to get to that next level. And I think we're close, but obviously, like I said, we're not there yet if we're not the last one standing.
For an extraordinary advantage in sports, you need a game plan. For an extraordinary advantage everywhere else, all you need is Acrisure. With a high-tech human approach to insurance, cybersecurity, and more, Acrisure helps you take care of what you care about. That makes winning easy. See what Acrisure's extraordinary advantage can do for you at Acrisure.com.